Welcome students. Till previous class we have completed the horizontal curves. In that horizontal curves we are left with setback distance, and in vertical curves summit and valley curves are need to be discussed. On this content, that is summit and valley curves and setback distance, the videos has been uploaded to the Google Classroom. Now I will just discuss the summit curve and valley curves. Once the discussion is completed, I will summarize this geometric design on module 2. Then we'll complete this module 2. Let us, after that completion of this summarization of this module 2, we'll start discussing on module 3. Right. So now I will start discussing on this vertical curves. So as your syllabus, and there are two vertical curves are there, summit curves and valley curves. The summit curves that can be said to be crest curves because these curves are having their convexity upward. Convexity is upward, or you can say concavity downward. If the curve is having this property, that considered to be summit curve, and valley curve is considered to be concavity upward and convexity downward. So that condition of curves is considered to be valley curves. So here we have different four types of curves can be expected on the ground, right? So these curves will be having a particular deviation angle. This n is considered to be deviation angle, and this deviation angle is the difference of two gradients of a particular curve. Say particular curve is having n1 gradient and plus n2 gradient. That means the curve is rising and rising. It is gone rising on the particular alignment. In that case, the deviation angle is considered to be the sum of difference between two gradients. So here this n2 is considered to be 0 because on rising gradient the particular curve is moving with a plane. Similarly here deviation angle is considered to be n1 plus n2. This is plus n1 and this is minus n2. Minus into minus, that will be plus n1 plus n2. Similarly this one. On this content summit curves, it is considered to be having a maximum deviation angle for the curve where it's meet ascending gradient and then descending gradient. That is curve number 3. In this curve number 3 we can expect a maximum deviation angle, and we can consider for the analysis of this summit curve or length of summit curve, we can provide on the alignment is third case. Right here in the case the length of summit curve can be considered by two conditions. One condition is for stopping side distance and another condition is for overtaking side distance or intermediate side distance. So where the length of summit curve is stopping side distance, in that case the stopping side distance is considered when the length of the curve is smaller and when the length of the curve is larger as compared to this stopping distance. So whenever you calculate the stopping side distance, you need to consider or you need to assume the condition whether the length of the curve is greater or smaller. Then later you have to analyze the particular condition. Right? Once we start solving problem on this, you will get to know how it is exactly. Right? So here L is n square by under root h plus under root 2h whole square. So here h is the height of driver I above the surface of the ground, surface of the pavement, and small h is the height of headlight from the surface of pavement. And here n is the deviation angle that can be considered for different condition of the ground, and s is the stopping side distance. So once we substitute the value of h and small h as recommended by Indian Road Congress, we can get 4.4 as the total sum of this. So h is 1.2 meters and small h is 0.75 meters. So once you substitute here, you will get n square by 4.4. Similarly, when the length of the curve is less than the stopping side distance, so that we can consider this statement. So this statement and the derivation on this content is already shared in the previous videos. And the length of summit curve for overtaking side distance is considered when length is greater than overtaking side distance, that is side distance, and when length is less than that side distance. In that case, h is considered to be the headlight side, that is height of driver's eye, and again here height of driver's eye, that is substituted here, and you will get with n square by 9.6. N is the deviation angle and s is the sight distance, that is overtaking side distance. Similarly, here we can compute this length of the summit curve by considering different cases. And this much is more than enough to discuss this summit curve. And now the valley curve. As we have considered the 4 cases for the summit curve, here also we can consider the 4 cases for valley curves. In this valley curve, we can similarly having a different gradients for a particular curve and deviation angle. So as in the previous case, here also it is considered to be a third case is giving a maximum deviation angle, that is descending gradient meets ascending gradient. So length of valley curve is being calculated by 2 cases, that is rate of change of centrifugal acceleration and the headlight side distance. So here whenever you consider centrifugal acceleration, the recommended centrifugal value is given as 0.06 meter per second cube, and here for length of that valley curve, for comfort condition, we'll be having 2 times of nvq by c to the power 1 by 2, that is or nothing but under root nvq by c, that can be said, right? And here for headlight side distance, that is considered to be length is greater than stopping side distance and the length is less than stopping side distance. So here this analysis h1 plus s tan alpha is equal to n square by 2l. This analysis is been discussed in previous class. And L is equal to n square by 2h plus 2s tan alpha. Here n square, whenever you substitute the value of this h1 is 0.75 and alpha is the value of beam. The headlight beam is considered to be 1 degree. So substitute 1 degree over here and then 0.75 over here, you will get with 1.5 plus 0.035 times of this s. S is the sight distance. Similarly here it is also considered for this case. So once you know the condition to calculate the length of valley curve and summit curve based on the conditions given for the safest length that can be known to before calculating the length of each curve. So this much is more than enough to discuss on this valley curves and summit curves. So in next class or in next video, I will start a summarization of this module 2, that is geometric design. So after that we'll close this module number 2, we'll start with module number 3. Thank you.